Welcome. I am Chair Reyes, and I would like to call this meeting to order. So I'll let roll call happen.
Um, Dr. Reyes,
Here.
Gabriella Graham,
Here.
and Karen Warner.
I'm not a member. I don't need to be roll call.
Okay. Okay, and then Dr. Hull is here as well.
And yep, and Miss Pahi is a board member. She's here, and we are missing Clara Rayleigh and Claren Mulhall tonight.
Yes. Therefore, we do, with three of us present as active board members, we do have a quorum, so we can continue with the meeting. Thank you for, we also have staff in attendance, Dr. Hall and Mr.
Zapata.
Zapata, so sorry. I need to meet him in person so I can get a name to the face. All right, so could we please say the Pledge of Allegiance to keep our meeting going? I pledge of allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you very much. I know in section 2 we have public comment regarding items on the agenda. Karen, if we are going to have further discussion among the board about some of the items on the agenda, do we need to open that for discussion?
You need to open it to public comment. The board is not allowed to respond to public comment, and you can limit the public comment for each person. I think the agenda reads 3 minutes, no more.
Okay, 3
or
minutes.
does it say 2? I'm not sure.
Okay, no, you're right. Just 3 minutes. And so they have a moment to speak about the agenda. We do not have to comment. And at the end of 3 minutes, we say thank you for your time and move on to the next
Yes,
comment.
but if anyone wants to make a public comment about an item on the agenda, they're allowed to do so now so that you have their information when we get to that item later. But they have to sign up either in the chat or by raising their digital hand in order for us to know they want to make the public comment.
Okay.
So if anyone does, would you please raise your hand or enter something in the chat? I've opened up the chat to communicate with the panelists that your name and what topic you would like to discuss. Dr. Reyes, I'm seeing a lot. Oh, we got one. I'm seeing a lot of folks in the audience, but so far just one has raised their hand. Let me just check the chat as well. Yeah, we don't have anything in the chat. So Miss Smith, Miss Raven Smith, may I allow her to give her comment?
Please.
Miss Smith, you are now on the panel or allowed to talk. So if you wanted to unmute yourself, you could give your comment. Miss Smith, if you can hear me, your hand is raised, but you're muted. Oh, no comment. Okay, I will lower your hand and put you back. Let me just check again and make sure because we have a kind of a long list. No, I don't see anyone else with their hand raised. And the only comment was that Miss Smith didn't have a comment. So I think we're good to proceed.
Sorry. All right, thank you very much. So our next item on the agenda is the approval of the current agenda. Have you all had a chance to look at it prior to the meeting?
I have. I wrote it. So.
Okay, are there any, okay, let's see, declarations or conflicts of interest? I don't believe there are any. There are a couple items on the agenda that we will hold off discussion on, and I just want to make that clear before we approve the agenda. There are some things that we will discuss further in another conversation before we can give public comment about some of the issues on the agenda.
So can I just, if I understand correctly, we have a board
Yes.
member who has a urgent family matter and we will not have a quorum for the entire time tonight. So is it still the board's plan then to cover what items we can and recess and reconvene
Yes.
tomorrow?
Yes, the board had planned to reconvene tomorrow to discuss the items on the agenda that require a quorum. And since we will not have one in just a few minutes, we will need to reconvene tomorrow. So are there any comments about this agenda and approving it as it is with discussion for it continuing tomorrow?
And I would ask that we set a time for tomorrow to be noted for the attendees and for the minutes.
Claire, Chair Rayleigh is. Okay. Chair Rayleigh just sent a message about her time availability. I am available after 2 p.m. tomorrow. I don't know about members Graham and Pahi.
Yes, up until about 4 o'clock.
Okay, would you be able to meet at 2:30?
Yes, ma'am.
Member Pahi, would you be available?
We can do that, but that's during the school day. I think that might be very difficult for
Oh,
your
yes,
school
Dr.
administrators
Hall,
and
yeah.
for any public who want to attend your meeting.
Sorry,
I would-
Karen, thank you. I forget that I work all day. So is there a better proposed time that the majority of the board could meet?
I understood that Ms. Mulhall and I think Ms. Bahi expressed that they could meet later tomorrow evening, which would be better for public and staff members who may want to be present.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that message yet. Okay. Would you be available at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening?
Yes.
Yes.
Is
All
Miss
right, well-
is Chair Rayleigh also available at that time?
I can, I will reach out to her and ask if she is available.
I just think the more the better is all, but
I agree, I agree. I better specify PM.
well, we could meet 6 a.m. I'm awake, but I don't know,
Right?
that's a good time.
I'm awake. It makes long days, but I'm awake.
I'm
I will
working
wait
then.
her response. However, we would have a quorum for tomorrow. I do believe she would be available tomorrow, even if,
Okay, so how about if we move forward with approving the
Okay.
agenda with the postponement of some items to after the recess to tomorrow?
yes,
And the time to be finalized, but tentatively at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. We will not have a quorum to talk about the financial reports. And so that is the most important part of tomorrow's meeting. So 6 p.m. we will try to reconvene to discuss those parts of the agenda. Also, there is it's further down, but the portion about CPR updates that Chair Claren Mulhall, that was her item for discussion. So she's not here tonight, so we can't discuss that either.
Okay, so we have a motion then, or we're asking for a motion to approve the agenda, but with removing the financial or moving the financial reports and the CPR training to when we reconvene tomorrow.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yes. Could I have a motion to accept the agenda with the items on it with the motion that we reconvene tomorrow at 6 p.m. to discuss in detail the items when we have a quorum?
I make a motion
I will
to accept
second.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, we know what you're gonna say. We know you're in a hurry.
Okay.
Chair Rayleigh will join us tomorrow at 6 p.m.
And do we have a vote for that? We have a motion
Yes,
and a second.
I'll take the roll for that. Dr. Reyes,
Yes.
Gabrielle Brown,
Yes.
Linnell Pahi, yes. And motion passes unanimously.
All right. Do we have to have a quorum to have a report from the administrative staff?
No, but I think you want to do the minutes from last meeting if you could.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Member Pahi, would you please go over the minutes or approval of the minutes from last week? Would you please address those?
So if everyone's had a chance to read them, you could
Entertain a motion to accept. I apologize. I'm trying to read what Claire Rayleigh is sending me. Did everyone have a chance to read the meeting minutes?
Yes, and I make a motion to accept the minutes as they were written.
I will second that motion. I have also read those meeting minutes. Oh my goodness, I don't know what's wrong with my brain.
Okay, roll call, upon acceptance of the meeting minutes as written, Dr. Reyes,
Yes.
Gabrielle Brown,
Yes.
Linnell Pahi, yes. Agenda passes unanimously, 3-0.
Okay. And I believe the rest of the agenda will be set for reconvening tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. if Dr. Hull is available.
Yes, she's here and they were agreeing. Dr. Hall will be here tomorrow at 6. Did you want to, I don't know if we have any more time with 3, but did you want to entertain anything else on the agenda? Or are we going to recess now?
Member Graham, what is your time frame for
I
remaining?
have about 15 more minutes.
Okay. Could we, I would like to skip the finance and the governing council business transportation and oversight. And if Dr. Hall would like to give us an update on the facilities, construction, student enrollment, and CTE update, I would like to go ahead and have her give her report for the month if she would like to.
Okay, I'm going to switch my name to hers and put her here at the
Thank you, Karen. I apologize.
It's okay. I'm just here at the school, so we're sharing some space here, but I want to change the name so people know it's Dr. Hall.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And so just a few things. We had an amazing, well, so as far as facilities and construction, we had an amazing open house on September 30th. And of course, you're always welcome to come by, but we're right now in our cafeteria and it's just beautiful. And so the facility is amazing. It's, there's a few things that still are getting done, such as changing all of the locks from the construction lock, where they kind of put a generic construction lock in there, and then they're changing it out. We just got the canisters, and so we're reaching out to the locksmiths to get those changed. But so many parents came that night. I don't know, have a firm number, but I want to say probably, I don't know, a few hundred. Yeah. And that all the teachers were here and they went around to different classes. They had like a little scavenger hunt kind of thing. It was great. So that was, and as far as facilities, also some things, at the Telshore location, there's some repairs that need to be done still. The fencing is almost all done. I saw them working on some of the gates now they're working on. But that back fencing is really great because it allows the kids to be safely at recess and not worry about, people coming in and stuff like that. So the fencing has been really great. Trying to think some of the main things. Oh, we still have some of the networking. So we got internet. Yes, Monday, the internet. And then so we've been testing this week here at Delray. And so a little glitchy yesterday, but then today, definitely much better. And we're going to continue that on Friday to make ups and stuff like that. But it's been great to have the internet. But the kids, I got to say, the teachers were amazing on really old school style teaching. Which is really great when you're kind of forced to have those tech-free days because sometimes we are looking too much at these screens, and the kids as well. And I thought it was kind of funny. I have a funny side anecdotal story is that when the internet finally came on, I remember coming in the cafeteria and the middle school flex is in here, and we told the kids, "All right, open up your laptops. The internet's on." And so they opened it up, but then I saw kids playing Connect Four. I saw kids playing, doing mazes and some puzzles and Monopoly and old school games because they had been playing those games before. So I thought that was kind of funny is that they just went right back to the old school games. I think it's a good thing every once in a while to have a tech-free day. So that's something that I think is huge because it gets kids talking to each other. So they weren't right on their computers right away. So it was really cool. But we love that it's back on. It makes life much easier. So today is the 40-day count, and I guess they take the count at the end of the day or at midnight or something like that. And so last I checked today, it was 6:16. And so again, we'll talk more about how that number will impact budget, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, that was the latest I checked. But we have had a few new students this week, so that's pretty exciting. And again, we have a rolling enrollment. So it's super important, regardless of 40 day, that we tell parents that we are here and we're ready if we have space. The hardest spots are the elementary level, but at secondary, yeah, as we go up into the high school age, we have room. So yeah, that's important. And then as far as another thing about enrollment I want to just talk about is that we've also talked about ideas, and I know I'm not getting into the budget thing, but we talked about ideas for next year. So to really engage parents during the summer, because when we're already starting to get applications for next year. So we did our first info night last month, or this month actually. And we're getting applications for next year. And so how do we create a relationship with these kids and parents when you're a year out? Like, that's a long time. You're going to forget about us. That's like, you applied, remember us? So we are thinking about ways to engage the families throughout the summer, like to do maybe a little activity and have the parents come do enrollment, but then do something with the kids, like a STEM activity or some kind of activity, so that they get to know our staff and how awesome everybody is, that they're like, I gotta go to that school. Remember, Mom, I'm going to that school. So we are already talking about those types of things because the application for next year is open, but it fully opens like December 1st is like when we start pushing for next year. And so how do we keep people engaged from December until August of the following year? And that's a challenge, but one that we are already looking at. And then lastly, the CTE update, I have to share something great, is that our CTE teacher, well, I mean, we have a variety of things, but mainly the coding teacher. And then we have, and these are both math teachers too, but the coding teacher in particular, he teaches CTE and he's done Skills USA. So he's already doing like a Skills USA club to get kids excited about being a part of Skills USA, where they can use that there's different competitions like coding, but then we also have an amazing math teacher that does media, and they're going to do media competitions. And so that's just one of the things. And I know there's also the tech student organizations, CTSOs, and definitely looking at more than just the more than just the one, Skills USA. So, but that's one of them that he's familiar with, and he's already won things. So it's super great to have him here. So that's the CTE update. And we'll see you all again tomorrow. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I believe the next item B under section 5 is our Explore email accounts. Those are up and running. So board members, if you would please use those accounts and check those.
And if I could, Chair Reyes, I just wanted to share with the board, you don't have to identify now, but if any board member needs some help to get it set up, if they would just reach out to me, email or call, and I'll set up a virtual meeting to help them get it set up. So again, nobody needs to self-identify here, but if you need help, please just reach out.
Thank you. All right. I would entertain the motion to adjourn this meeting until tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock.
I will second that motion.
Well, you have to make the motion.
Before you do that, should we, because I'm not sure if everyone in attendance is going to be able to make the meeting tomorrow, could we just open up for public comment for things not on the agenda in case someone was here for that purpose before we adjourn?
Oh, okay.
So if I may, public that are here, attendees, if you would like to make a comment about something not on the agenda, you could raise your hand, or let me make sure I didn't close the chat, or put your name in the chat. Again, if you wanted to make a comment about anything not on the agenda, want to give you that chance if you needed to. I don't see anyone raising their hand or putting in the chat. Let me just check again. I don't see anyone, Chair, so thank you for just checking on that. I also don't think your business manager is available tomorrow at 6, but hold on, I want to check my phone. Well, he said if he's not available, he'll try to get someone in his place. So I think he's still here. May I move him to the panel just to see when he might be available? Hi, Mr. Padilla. I just gave you permission to talk. I'm just wondering if you might be available. Hi.
Hi, everybody. Unfortunately, I have something that may run long into the 6:30 area. Unfortunately, it's not something that I can miss. I can try to move around or reschedule. I just wasn't prepared for anything being at that time tomorrow
Sure.
at 6. So I apologize. I can assume I can try to get coverage on my end from one of my team members who can cover that part, hopefully. But unfortunately, I might be able to run in a little bit late to the meeting. I'm just not sure how long the appointment that I have is going to take.
So with that information, I'm just wondering if, I guess we could do the other parts of the agenda first and then go to the finances tomorrow. So that maybe Mr. Padilla will have a chance to join us, or we'll see if he's able to get someone in his place from Axiom.
Yeah, I can keep everybody abreast to the situation as I find out. But unfortunately, I do have something right at 5, and I don't know if it's going to run a little bit long.
All right.
So, okay, I'm just wondering if we should start the meeting later. Would that make a difference, or you really have no idea about the length of the thing you have?
I don't have an
Okay.
idea about the length of the thing. It's
okay.
a
That's fine.
complicated family matter. So
Okay.
I'm
No
not
worries,
too
Josh.
sure.
You don't need
Yeah.
to share. It's perfectly okay. I just was hoping
We
to
all-
try to find a
We all
time.
have family. We all have stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We have to list the meeting for the public, correct, Karen?
Yeah, but because this meeting was posted and you're recessing and reconvening, we're good.
Okay, all
I
right.
will, I'll make that notice on the website, but anyone who
we're-
wanted to attend is obviously here tonight and has heard that it's going to be recessed and continued tomorrow.
Okay, and we will reconvene at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Chair Rayleigh will be able to join us. And Mr. Padilla, if we can have someone from your group help us with the financial statements, that would be great. But we will have more, we'll have a better idea tomorrow. And so we will reconvene this meeting tomorrow. So now I need a
I think oh, there she comes back.
sorry, did I do that?
I don't know, but you disappeared.
I did just, I didn't even have my hands on it. So now I do need a motion that we convene this meeting and re-adjourn tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. with those members that are available for the discussion tomorrow.
There is someone who asked a question on the chat. If
Oh,
it's
there
gonna
is.
be- Yes,
I just answered it. I'll use the
Oh.
same link tomorrow.
okay. I
Thank
make
you.
a motion, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting and reconvene tomorrow.
I will second that motion. All in, I
Okay,
Go
roll
ahead.
call, all in favor, Gabriella Graham,
Yes.
Dr. Reyes,
yes.
Linnell Pahy, yes.
See you all tomorrow.
Thank you for your time.
Bye.
All right, thank you all for returning today to finish up our monthly board meeting. Chair Rayleigh, do I have to go through all the things again, or do we just start where we left off?
You can potentially like just summarize what happened last night, but then yeah, you would just start where we left off.
Okay, we don't have to do roll call and pledge and all of that again.
You should do roll call because we're reconvening, I think, just to be sure everyone can be heard online. But
Okay.
I don't think you need to go through all the other opening things.
Okay, thank you. I was trying to save you having to speak, Karen. All right. Let's go ahead and roll call then.
Okay, Dr. Reyes,
Present.
Clara Rayleigh,
Here,
Clara, okay, Gabriella Graham,
here.
Linnell Pahy present.
All right, we have a quorum for this tonight's meeting. I think we have someone from the finance committee to give a report, even if Josh was not going to be here, he was going to appoint someone. Are they here, Karen?
I think Josh and Katie, both from
Oh.
Axiom, are both here,
They're
actually.
both here.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we let them in, Clara, myself, Dr. Hull, and our attorney Dustin Sparks and Josh Padilla, we all met today for a lengthy discussion about the state of our finances. And so I wanted you to know that we are working on a plan to mitigate some of the expense that we have and the shortfall in our budget that we have. And so I just wanted the board to know that first before we let other people in or have any comment. So rest assured, we are working on solid footing for us. And so we're an open meeting. Do we have anyone in the audience?
Yeah, we have like 13 people right now in the audience. So
How
then
come you can see that and I can't? Oh.
go to
the-
participants. But yeah, Katie and Josh are both here, so we should be able to invite them on to be panelists.
I'll do that now.
There's actually 22 people.
There's actually only what?
22 people.
Yeah, I see 28.
28 includes the panel, I think.
Oh, I'm sure, but I count us.
Hello.
Hi, Josh. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, no, thanks. Thanks for stalling for me so I can make it in.
Well, that was technical difficulties on my part, so you're welcome.
Yeah, well, hey, whatever works. So I'm gonna share my screen here so we can go through the check detail first off. I want to thank you all for your patience. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, we'll go through the check detail of what the expenses were this month. Some of the bigger one was Donna Annie County Treasurer. So this is taxes that we had to pay from 2 years ago, actually. So we're taking the hit this year, unfortunately, that property taxes, Explore Learning, their services, Mission Academy. This was equipment and furniture for the school. NIPSIA, of course, the insurance and the retirement. Some of the other big items, utilities, electricity, buses from Herrera Coaches, mostly just utilities here on the platform side of things. We paid rent this month wise and had a couple of fees, and of course payroll being the biggest expense. But I can go into detail of any of the vendors or payments if anyone has any questions. No, seeing none, we'll move on to the check register. Uh, the school had a balance of $644,000 roughly at the beginning of the month, and an ending balance of 517,000. We had receipts of 805,000 and disbursements of 932,000. Some of these were AP from the previous year, such as the Dana Annie County property taxes and the disbursements. But our expected general ledger and general ledger both match, which is a sign of clean books. Is there any questions regarding the bank reconciliation? Do want to say that some of the larger SCG payments do come in at the beginning of the year. This is why the receipts are pretty high, as well as accounts receivable from reimbursements that carry over up until September from the previous year as well. Any questions?
Questions?
No questions.
Great. I do believe that we need a vote on the finances. Sure is.
I motion to approve.
I second that motion.
Okay, roll call, Dr. Reyes,
I approve.
Clara Rowley,
Yes.
Gabriella Graham,
Yes.
Linnell Packey, yes.
Thank you, Josh. We appreciate your time and your expertise.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to the presentation this evening. So I created a couple scenarios with the forecast, knowing that the enrollment did drop um, from the last time that we had this discussion from 622 to 603, uh, which is about a $1 million swing, which does complicate things. Um, one of the major decreases is the SEG. It does go down as enrollment does go down. It equals out to around $14,000 per child. So it does affect the budget. A lot of these revenue streams are earmarked for other items such as equipment, things of that nature. So we can't exactly use those for unrestricted expenses such as salaries and such. But salaries did go up quite a bit along with employee benefits. This fluctuates month to month as people that are hired or leave change their benefits and have higher fringes or lower fringes. So that's to be expected. Um, we did find some extra cutting measures to try to save some money here and there. But we're at around $1.1 million deficit at this point because of the loss of enrollment. It's dictated on the 40th day of every year, which happens to be tomorrow. So this is exactly where we stand and how much money that we will be receiving in SEG funds for the remainder of the year.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So where did the large number come from? If that's not what we had, the number of students versus the actual numbers. Do we know?
Where did the large number of
Yes,
projection?
why such a decrease?
Oh, so we projected 737 students in May when we did create the budget. So that was obviously a lot more money that we expected to come in. As school began, people decided not to enroll their students for many of a reason. And as we got to the 40th day, we saw more and more students dropping, unfortunately, to 603. So quite a big swing from what our expected budget was going to be and from where we were a month ago.
Thank you.
Any other questions regarding this slide? Okay. So this is a forecast baked in with the loan for Explore, which is around $535,000 and a payment of $133,000. This does help the school. The money is earmarked for equipment and projects in which the school has started paying for and does plan to pay for, has POs for. So this is only if the board does decide to go through with the loan that's been presented. So it does help the school from $400,000 or so. Again, it doesn't really change much of the other numbers. We still had a deficit when it comes to SEG, a huge decrease there, and we still have a deficit for the remainder of the year. So both of these typical scenarios are not sustainable. We do have to make some changes in order to become financially solvent. Any questions here?
So I did just want to reiterate kind of Christine's statement at the beginning, just so that all board members are aware that Christine and I have been meeting with Josh and Dustin and Dr. Hull to kind of discuss some of our options and some of our thoughts for steps forward. So I just want to make sure that the board does understand that conversations have been had and we continue to have these conversations as well. But you know, that we're coming up with some solutions right now. But just wanted to reiterate that.
Yes. Yes. Some scenarios which I'm about to show are some of those solutions. Unfortunately, that does the scenarios do involve lowering of workforce and a hiring or asking for a higher loan payment to make up the difference. In this scenario, we would have to let go of 5 positions and ask for a higher loan, around $1 million. And then with that loan becomes a higher payment, unfortunately, but that can be negotiated. All this is really just high level until we get into the weeds of things and then find out what really will work better for the school. But for what we know right now, these are just scenarios that we're going over. So this is scenario 1 with the reduced workforce of 5 positions. You can see here that the ending fund balance would only be $4,318. So not ideal, but enough to keep the school in good financially space. Here in scenario 2, it's a reduction of workforce by 7 positions. Again, raising the loan from what we currently have it as to $875,000 and a payment of $218,000. And ending fund balance still in the positive, still meeting bond covenant. So another scenario that would definitely work. Here in scenario 3, we reduced by 9 positions. Again, raise the loan $750,000 with a $187,000 payment. Still a positive ending fund balance. In scenario 4 is a reduction of workforce by 11 positions. The current loan, which we have on the table, would stay the same here. And then we would have a positive ending fund balance of around $15,000. All these scenarios are just, we are just, working on, this does not take into consideration what positions or how much those positions makes, but just a basic rough draft at this point. Some other options to alleviate the budget strain, a bond covenant waiver, which we would have to be discussed with the lease owner, rent deferment, the same, that would have to be discussed. Other grants, which we're looking into currently, and also changing of potentially services that the school has signed on to, which is also a possibility to help alleviate some strain. So now, within the next 30 days, we need to strategize to lower expenses and raise revenue. We can do both. That would be sufficient. And right now we're going through the FY24 audit, which is going fine. At this point, we expect to be done any day now. So I will update the group as soon as we're finished there. But I'm open to any questions anyone might have.
Josh, could you go back to your screen for the reduction in 5? I was still on my phone, so I wanted to see it in a little bit of a bigger screen.
Sure. There you go. You want me to make it bigger? Work.
Nope, that's fine.
Okay. Right. This would be the reduction of the least amount of people, but we would need a little bit more help
In that loan.
from the loan. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And that this is all dictated on the fact that the people that will loan us the money will agree to such a loan to help the school out.
Okay. And then you said you did a scenario with 7, correct?
I did. This is the reduction force by 7. Again, we would have to ask for them to raise the loan.
Yep.
300,000 there.
A little more doable than 500,000.
Right.
And then the next one was 9, correct?
9.
Okay. And that was the 7. Okay.
Sorry, Josh, do each of these scenarios include the ask of the waiver on anything, or these are only the estimates with reduction in force and increase in loan amounts?
This is only the reduction of force and
Okay.
increase of loan amounts. If there is a waiver of the borrow covenant, then you could essentially add $215,000 on each of these.
Right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, and then like to keep the loan what it currently is, or the lease, whatever it's called,
Right,
that would be this next scenario, correct? And that would
that
be
is
with the reduction of 11 positions.
right, a
Okay.
reduction of 11
I
to
think-
make this work.
And I have a question, how is that going to affect? Let's say any of these scenarios, there's still reduction of the positions, how is that going to affect the school, or which school is it gonna affect the most?
So
Well,
it's, go ahead, Josh.
no, please. I'm saying that's really up for the
That's the-
strategy of the school right now and the leadership there of how that would work.
So, board members, we don't necessarily need to have all of the details of what this reduction in force would look like at this point in time. We just wanted to bring to you the financials and the different scenarios for the reduction. I think that kind of what Christine and I are rooting for at this point, or suggesting, is that, so that the board doesn't have to just continue meeting over and over and over again about this, that the vote be to provide Christine and I the authority to work with Axiom and Dr. Hull and our legal counsel in order to find what this is and bring a full plan to you. Is that in alignment, Christine? Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to steal your
Yeah.
thunder either.
No. I appreciate your historical knowledge about all of this. If the board would agree to allow Chair Rayleigh and I to work with the two entities to find the best solution for us moving forward, we would be happy to do that. It entails quite a few spontaneous meetings. But if you would like to be involved in that, we certainly would love to have your input.
Just to also, like, the plan too, if it included, changing the loan or doing any of those components, that would require a board vote, just so that we're the whole board is kind of aware. So if we came to you with a plan that included asking for more from that loan in order to, and a lot of that is contingent on a few different factors. So just so you're aware, like, that's not set in stone. So these were scenarios if in a perfect world, if we were able to get that amount of money from this loan. And I do believe, Karen, is Dustin in the, yeah. Could we promote Dustin? Am I? Perfect. Hey, Dustin,
Good
thanks for
evening.
joining.
Absolutely.
So of course that would include that ask of the increase in that lease, the equipment lease, but that would include some other details that would have to be negotiated. And I don't believe that we've made any progress in the last 2 days with that as of right now. So just so everyone's aware, that would be in a perfect world. We would be able to get more money for that loan, but as it currently stands, it would be scenario 4, which is the reduction in force of 11, if we're not able to find additional revenues or any of those other contingency plan components.
Excuse me, Chair Rayleigh, is it okay if I make you a host?
Please,
So that you can
Karen,
put people in and out? Thank you.
absolutely, so that you don't, yep, that's perfectly fine. Does the board have any additional questions on kind of some of this? It's heavy, everyone. This is heavy. This is not a simple situation. So we're here to answer your questions as much as we can at this point.
But to clarify, Chair Rayleigh, I'm sorry, this is Karen again. I see two people in the audience with their hands raised. The questions right now are just for board members. This is not an open forum. I just wanted to be sure that that's clear. Unfortunately, aren't able to take questions from the audience at this time. This is just a board discussion.
Yes, and I do believe we do have a public comment section at the end of the agenda, and that is when those questions can be posted to the board.
So, as soon as the members, this is when we found out about the financial problem, or had it been going on for a while and we're just finding out about it, or?
So
That-
it's go
Yeah.
ahead, Christine.
Oh, okay. That's an excellent question, Member Graham. It was the evening before the board meeting when it was urgent that we have it yesterday. And so I asked several questions. Then it became a discussion about where do we go from here? And so we because the board approved Chair Rayleigh and I to talk about the lease agreement, then we had that discussion with Mr. Sparks and Mr. Padilla about what our options were, where we stood, whether or not we needed the lease. And all of it really is based on the projection of the dollars that we get for enrollment. Also, there were a few things with the new building construction not getting in it. There's a whole list of things that happened prior to that, because I asked the same question. A month ago, we had finances that looked good, but they were based on the projection of the enrollment and the amount of money per student that the state allocates the school. And then that shifted quite a bit. And so then we had to say, all right, what do we do now? And so it wasn't a private conversation at any point about anything until the agenda came out and then the message about needing the meeting. So that's where we stand, Member Graham.
Hi,
Yeah.
Linnell
Lynna.
here. I have a few questions.
Absolutely.
Just it's a lot right now. So I guess my first question is, we in the event that we motion for the other co-chairs to work with Dr. Hall and Axiom to find other options, it's going to be the first to try to get more grants in order to retain the teachers and not eliminate any positions first, or has that already been talked about and we're just kind of focusing in on reduction in staffing?
So Josh had, when he went over the financials, you'll see that the largest component of the school's budget is in salaries and benefits. And at this point, I don't believe that there is a way to get around a reduction. It is now at the point of how many are we going to have to reduce? And so does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Also, the second question is, since this is the 40th day and then we're moving forward, and how soon will this, take place? I mean, we're getting close to new enrollment numbers in December, January timeline. And I guess I'm just trying to gauge how soon that would take place?
So the unfortunate thing is that at this point, the projections essentially start, November. I mean, it's the longer we wait on this, the less outcome is good. that was not the best grammar way of saying that. Christine, you want to be more eloquent?
So member Pahi, if I understand the question
Katie.
correctly, is it about enrollment numbers and then getting more money for those enrollment numbers? Was that part of the question?
Yeah, because right now we're at 602, and then in the event, in a perfect scenario, we hit our numbers come, December, January.
And unfortunately, school finance does not work that way. The numbers on the 40th day is the amount of money that the state allocates per student. If we had an increase of 60 students, we don't get any more money. It's based on the 40-day projection for every school in the state.
Katie,
that
do
make
you have
sense?
something to add to that?
No,
Oh,
just
Katie
that
did. She's
yeah.
Great. Great.
40th day is the it's the benchmark in which we are funded for this year. Now the future enrollment numbers will impact funding for next year. There are 80th and 120th days, but won't impact this year. Also, I think to another point that was made earlier, the longer we wait, the more positions that may have to change or be cut, because the longer we wait, the more of that salary we are paying. And so we're looking at a number, and that number translates into number of FTEs. And so we're trying to cut the fewest number of FTEs given the overall number that we're trying to hit, if that makes sense.
Yes. And I guess to segue on that one to my third question would be, how would this impact, I guess, the students? I mean, 11, the 11 staff reduction is a lot. I guess I'm just thinking about how that is going to affect the children and I guess the teaching capabilities outside of just numbers. And you're talking about ratio, students to staff ratios. And
Absolutely. It would probably increase student to teacher ratio, and there would probably be some changes in class availability, flavor choice, and there's some potentially other ramifications of this, unfortunately. I don't have the full plan. I know Dr. Hull has been working diligently to try to come up with something, and during our meeting today, we were kind of throwing out some other options for what that would look like on this at the school level. At this point, I think that we've unfortunately hit a place where we don't have a lot of options, and so it's going to it's finding the best options given the situation, and what that looks like to still be Explore, still provide the wonderful instruction that we're able to provide for this year, and keep going, right? So like keep going with Explore with as best as we can, but we're definitely in a place where we don't unfortunately have a lot of options.
thank you.
And in the future, will there be, so that we don't run into something like this, has there been any talk about having like a financial committee that can also not only communicate with Dr. Hall, but also with Axiom, like on a more regular basis to make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen again?
There definitely has been, and that is one of my biggest suggestions, is either to have a board treasurer appointed and or a finance committee of the board that is regularly meeting with Axiom and Dr. Hull, so that these things are not continuing to occur, and that we're well aware of these things, and hopefully asking these questions before we get into a board meeting, right? So So yes, that would be definitely one of my suggestions as well.
I have no further questions.
Did anybody have any questions, any additional questions for Axiom or for Dustin, specifically about the finances? And Josh, just to make sure we didn't have any bars, correct? Just before I
No,
okay,
no
okay,
bars
cool.
this.
So in the agenda, there was the reduction in force plan. So if you guys have had access to that, for this is now the only, I think we had one of these and it was like one teacher. So this is definitely a lot different than that. The I think it was like the first year that we were open. But there is a plan, and essentially there's criteria that is filled out by Dr. Hull. That's a rubric essentially, and then that rubric is what is then used to determine staffing. So Gabby, kind of pointing back to your thoughts on who's going to be affected by which, it'll definitely be kind of determined through public education department regulated reduction in force plans. So this is based off of the state's regulations. And it's my understanding that this RIF plan is actually this isn't even totally up to date either. Because this was from yesterday. Things are changing rapidly, board members. So, do we have any further questions Axiom's here again? I think that but anything else that you guys have, or Josh or Katie, Dustin, any comments from your side either? If not, no worries, I understand. Okay, so so we're looking at motioning to essentially provide the authority to now look into renegotiating the loan agreement, as well as working with if the board wants to be involved in this, that's up to their prerogative. It just makes it a lot smoother and quicker that we're not meeting every day in order, opens meetings law that we have to do 48 hours notice and all of those types of things as well, that it would be the authority of the co-chairs, as well as us working with Mr. Sparks and Axiom and Dr. Hull in order to come to you with a plan and what our best suggestion is for the financial stability of the organization.
I will make that motion to allow, both
Dustin.
co-chairs. Hello?
So to clarify, so in addition to the lease that Justin Bayardo has been working on to include the funding for equipment, you'd want to also authorize the co-chairs to work on negotiations for both building leases, so that we could hopefully find some at least deferred payments there, and or changes in the waiving the bond covenants for this year.
I will make that motion to allow both co-chairs to work conjunction with Axiom, Dr. Hall, and with Mr. Sparks, and also to work on a way to find the leases for both the schools.
I will second that motion.
Can you do a roll call, Anil?
Yes. Dr. Reyes,
Yes, I agree.
okay. Clara Riley,
Yes.
Gabriella Graham,
Yes.
Danielle Pahi, yes. Motion passed.
Okay.
Do we go to the next item on the agenda then to continue with the,
Yep.
okay.
Thank
So-
you so much, Katie and Josh.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch for sure. And I'm gonna send you back through cyberspace somehow. Hold on, let me figure out.
And Dustin, thank you for your input and your knowledge. And making it simple for people who don't speak legalese. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. I'll follow up with you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Nice. Thanks,
Clara, do you need
Yes.
help with the
Is it just
top right?
is it just remove?
No,
Oh, okay.
if you remove, then they can't come back.
Josh, I just wanted to like boot you. Put on hold, maybe? Is that
It's change to attendee or something like that.
oh, I don't think I see change panelist to nope, that's not it. I don't think I have that option.
Yeah, you're changing him to the attendee.
I just have a appearance.
Are you in the top right corner of his picture on the screen?
Yes. Uh-huh. Yep.
Try, if you go to the panelist list, try from there.
Okay, let's try that. There it is.
Okay,
Thanks,
and then
Josh.
the same with the other way with the attendees, you can use that list to move them
Okay, perfect.
to panel. Sorry, thank you.
No, I appreciate the tutorial. That was helpful. I'll let you take back the reins, Dr. Reyes.
Well, I appreciate that. Such difficult conversations, but thank you all for hanging in there. All right, so the RIF plan was sort of identified in the conversation. So the whole item 5, we have talked about each of those things, items, sorry.
I believe that the only thing was the facility refinancing, but I believe we had discussed tabling that.
Oh, yeah, that was the lease agreement that we were evaluating first, and we tabled it before. We were gonna discuss it today, but right? Is that?
That's the loan agreement. This was refinancing the current buildings that we have. And until we kind of know what the finances look like, refinancing, I don't think that that's a priority at this point in time. So I would suggest that we'll probably have a special meeting maybe over that instead. Once we
Okay.
have that'll probably move to that special meeting once we have more of the information on the budget.
Okay. Apologies, some of the items are a word and I don't have the historical background for them. Do we have the business on the transportation, or are we?
Let's see. I think this is the contract renewal.
No, this is,
Oh, sorry, Karen, you were remuted. I'm assuming.
Yeah. It's okay.
Lisa Hughes is here if you want to have her cover it for me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Lisa,
I
I'm
got
really
you.
sick. I'm asking you to just take the reins, please.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, Chair Rayleigh and Chair Reyes and members of the board. I will definitely take the reins for Karen. I don't know if I will do her part justice, but Karen, jump in if I need to, say anything that you would say. And I apologize, I am in the car. I got stuck in traffic before the meeting started, so I just parked and I'm doing the meeting from the car. So there is board oversight. As you know, we are fortunate enough to be a charter school that does provide transportation for our students, which is a great thing in order to be able to get our students to and from school on a daily basis. With that said, there is some board oversight that is linked into the agenda. And so these are some of the things that is based on when we renew contracts, the things that we can look at and the things that we can take care of upon contract renewal. With all that being said, you are oversees parts of, the daily operations of the school. And there are some things in the contract with a school bus company that says the LEA will be responsible to ensure that the school bus vendor or the school bus company is doing. All of these and in the New Mexico statutes annotated. So it's things that they have to be doing anyways. So that's the part that Karen was going to kind of address, that you have board oversight on the contracts. And so I am the director of transportation, and again, we are fortunate enough that we offer transportation service. Currently, we have our contract with Herrera Bus Company, and they provide 6 buses daily. So 6 buses in the morning and 6 buses in the afternoon that are outlined in the New Mexico Administrative Code and the New Mexico statutes annotated. Since we're contracted with them and are the LEA, we've put together a memorandum of understanding, which is linked in the agenda as your LEA responsibilities. I don't know if anybody got a chance to kind of take a look in that, and I can share my screen if needed. But those are the items in the NMAC and in the New Mexico statutes annotated that we need to ensure are being followed by Herrera Bus Company. Things like pre and post trip inspections, things like all of their mechanical inspections. It does say that the LEA will have access to all of those. And so the memorandum of understanding that we put together just outlines that we know that they are supposed to be doing all of these things, and kind of is a way for us to hold them accountable, that says if we need access to this information for any of our reporting or anything like that, that they have to be doing it anyways. We're not asking them to do anything that they shouldn't already be doing, because it's all in NMAC and the NMSA. It will ensure that they are aware of all the requirements set forth to be operating school transportation, and to make them aware that we know all of the items and more that are outlined in this MOU that need to be occurring. So if approved by you all, I will meet with Herrera Bus Company, go over the MOU with them, and have them sign it as well. We will keep documentation of the MOU to ensure we're meeting obligations of providing bus transportation. So thank you for your time in hearing this, and I will stand for any questions that you have on the MOU.
So Lisa, I I understand the need for MOUs. That's not my question, but like, have we had issues in the past with Herrera that this is kind of being like urged by, as to why we're currently putting an MOU together versus already having one?
So we've had the contract, and it all is stated in the contract. And just as we dug deeper into the contract and into NMAC, now that I am the director of transportation, we found a whole laundry list of things that they need to be doing, which as a company they should be doing already. And this for us would then say, we've had the conversation with them, that we have made them aware that we know of all the things that they are supposed to be doing, and kind of covers us, because in language in the NMAC, it says the LEA will ensure that this is happening. So this is helping us to ensure that we have that understanding with Herrera.
Most of it is maintenance and safety, correct?
Most of it is maintenance and safety, yes. That they'll have their maintenance records, their inspection records, the pre and post records. But in NMAC, it does say that the LEA needs to be aware that that is happening, so that because we're contracting with them and not running our own fleet of buses, this is kind of another layer of protection for us that says these things are also, we are aware that these things need to be happening.
It's basically our protection of liability in our agreement with them.
Right, right. And then what we plan to do next year, if approved, it will be part of the contract before we sign the contracts so that we can, have it together with that. And we've outlined all of the things in NMAC. So again, it's stuff that they should already be doing, but because it says LEA will ensure, we want to make sure that they know that we know they're supposed to be doing it.
Okay.
And Lisa, if I may add to Dr. Reyes's point, by having them sign that, they're acknowledging for us in a way that reduces liability, exactly what Dr. Reyes said.
Any additional questions on the need or what's contained in the MOU?
I have no questions.
Do we have a motion to approve the MOU?
A motion to approve the MOU.
I think Gabby seconded, but she's
I'll
on mute.
second it.
I can just read lips. It's fine.
Thanks.
Can we do a roll call, please?
Yes, Claire Riley,
Yes.
Dr. Reyes,
She said yes too.
I know I'm muted. My dogs are barking.
Gabriella Graham,
Yes.
Linnell Pahi. Motion passes.
Thank you for your time and your approval of the MOU.
Thank you.
I believe the CPR staff training item on the agenda was Claren Mulhall's.
I motion to table
Okay,
until our next regularly scheduled meeting.
I second that. Given that I'm sorry. Do we need to all in favor?
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Okay.
And Chair Rayleigh, can you send me back to the attendee?
Oh yes,
section?
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
That's okay.
sorry.
Thank you, Lisa.
Definitely
Thank you,
not
everybody.
my normal job. Yep. Let's see. Change role to attendee. Yay. Okay.
Also, we covered the administration and staff report last night. I don't think we need to go over it again.
No.
Yeah.
So you guys moved that to the beginning, like before finances is what you guys
We
did?
did because
Okay.
we needed a quorum to go through those
For
before
sure.
Member Graham had to leave. So we did move the agenda around a little bit and we did cover
No
that.
worries.
And so
And then Dr. Hull, at this point, I don't necessarily think we have a strategic plan or head administrator evaluation plan. Unless you wanted to talk about that at this time, we can certainly choose to table that until our next regular meeting or a special meeting, whichever you prefer, Dr. Hull. If you would rather talk about it now, we certainly can. But I understand if you would, oh, you're muted.
About that. Hello, everybody. So you're talking about the strategic plan. We're still working on that as a leadership team. Our attention has been drawn to this
Absolutely.
right now. But yeah, we do
As it
have
should.
a leadership team. Yep. And so we are working on that. But as far as what's the other part you said is the
Head administrator evaluation. Yep.
right. Let me see. And development of a new evaluation. So I guess I'm just confused. Is that something you guys are developing that part?
Yeah, that's a evaluation. The board needs to determine an evaluation, and
Right.
I think there was discussion about basing it on the strategic plan.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah, so.
Yes.
We're in
So
the
this
middle
would be something, yeah. So I'll cover this. This is great. So Dr. Hull, of course, within your strategic plan, you're going to have objectives,
Right.
and key goals. And so the board would like to align your evaluation with the strategic plan.
Okay.
And then I think in the past, there's also been, staff surveys, parent surveys, and student surveys that were put into that as well. And so we would just want to make sure that that data is collected, aggregated, and then able to be so we'll probably schedule, a board meeting with a closed session specifically for
like a work session.
Yep. And then we'll go through all of that to make sure
Okay.
that we're on par with that, so that we can evaluate you based off of, your goals and your goals for the school.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
But yeah, we understand that the strategic plan is, yeah. So we get it. We get it. Absolutely. Okay. So any additional board comments at this time? I guess the only one that I would like to make at this point is, do we feel like, and this may go back to 5, so excuse me as we bounce around a little bit, but do we want to go ahead and make a motion for either a treasurer or a finance committee, or does that, would the board rather that be something that Christine and I present with the plan, with the whole plan?
I think it's something that you probably need to present to the whole plan, but it's a very good idea that we start having one, just that they can keep monitoring, what's going on earlier on than the day before we have a meeting.
And
Well,
I think if you want to add a treasurer, we're going to need to add that to an agenda and notice it. So but this time comments, we can't make a decision on any comments.
Right. Yep. Okay. So at this time sorry.
I'm so sorry. So I don't have any personal comments, but I guess is this a good time to announce like a free event that the city is hosting? It
would be.
Okay. The city of Las Cruces is hosting an Air and Space Expo. It's a free event that is again by the city of Las Cruces. It's going to take place at the Las Cruces International Airport. And there's going to this is going to be the first year they're going to have air races. So I thought maybe that would be something the kids would like to see. It's a free event. Families are able to come out and see an air race.
That's super cool. Thanks, Linnell.
Yeah. When?
Oh, I'm sorry. That would be great, right? October 19th and 20th. So the next Saturday and Sunday, it'll be a 2-day event, and they're going to be races on both days.
Thank you.
Okay. So board members, buckle up. So I mean, really. So at this point, we will open it up to open comment. If you would like to make a comment to the board at this time, please raise your hand or put it in the chat potentially. Let me see if that is something that I can change the settings on.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore, Chair, really, because I gave it to you. But if you go into the chat, you see it, and then
Okay, yeah, I think I got it. So
Thanks.
you can put your question in the chat or raise your hand. Please, when you put please state your name, your relationship to the school, and then your comment. And then please, if you are wanting to speak to the board, if you would limit your comments to 3 minutes. The board members can acknowledge receipt of the information, refer to staff, but we will not really be taking an action or commenting or responding to your comments. So again, this is comments, not questions at this time. Let's see. Rebecca, I'm going to allow you to speak. Please unmute and then address the board. Rebecca, you are muted if you've been talking.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, this is Rebecca Shepherd. I am a parent at Explore Academy. I have 3 children there, and we have been there since the beginning. I'm also the PTO president, and we've been really happy with Explore. I found out about the deficit a couple of days ago when everyone else did. And I guess I don't really have a question. I just have a couple of concerns. The first one being that you're talking about, having to let go 5 to 11 people. And I understand it's a deficit and it's a large deficit. But I need you to think about these 5 to 11 people who are going to lose their livelihoods. And, we're a community and we're a family at Explore. And it really breaks my heart that these people are going to lose their livelihoods. So when you're making this decision, I ask you to really, really make it carefully and think about these people. And then, and I understand it's a deficit and I understand that things have to be done. But please think about them. And my other concern is, and you talked about it tonight, is that, this is such a huge deficit. Why wasn't it caught sooner? I don't understand why wasn't someone more on top of this a little bit sooner? And why are we hearing about it just now at day 40? This should have been on top of it a little bit quicker and a lot quicker. So I'm hoping that, you do the treasurer, you do, have the committee, and so that this is not happening again. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate all of the staff and the administrators at Explore. We're grateful to be able to go there, and we hope to have a long future. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, next up I have JG. I will allow you to speak. Remember, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. State your name, your relationship to the school, and then the board will, of course, not respond at this time, but we will address your concern or take note of it. You can unmute.
Yeah, hi, my name is John Gately. I'm a math instructor at the school. I just started this school year. And I thought I saw on the budget that property taxes were being paid into. It looked like over $230,000. So my question is why we're paying into that if we are paying a lease, if the school directly does not own the buildings?
That's a wonderful question, and we will take note of that and make sure that we connect with Axiom in order to get that answered at this time. Thank you. Was there any other comment?
Can you confirm that they do pay a lease, the school?
At this time, I actually cannot make any comments or responses to your comment, but what I can do is take note of it and make sure that it's addressed. And
when was the decision to go into a new building or acquire a new building?
Again, wonderful question, and I will make note of it. At this time, the board will not respond, and we can certainly respond to you through email after this meeting, or at the next board meeting.
Can you address the relationship of Axiom with the school?
I cannot.
So let me interrupt. We are not, this is not a question and answer period. This is strictly comments from the public that the board is willing to listen to. So your questions are all valid and worth noting, but they are not allowed to answer you. She's not being difficult. She's not allowed to answer you during public comment.
So I guess I have concerns if the school is paying property taxes if they don't own the building. Certainly if they're in a lease and are also paying rent. Like it's been addressed before, it doesn't make sense when the decision to expand and move into a new building was made. As a teacher there, it seems like money's been extremely tight from day one. It's not like we're tightening the budget. There really hasn't been any kind of budget. That is it.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Erica Moreno, you may unmute.
Yes, hi. My name, as stated, is Erica Moreno. I'm a parent. I have one student attending. This is actually our first year attending, and we have heard amazing things at the school. We are so happy with it. But I am utterly concerned as well for the impact that having such a RIF would have on the students and the greatness of the school that exists, as well as the impact of the lives of the people that will be impacted in this RIF. And so I would like to just make some comments on, and I'm sure this maybe has been explored, but if there's any way or fashion, it is a little late in the game to be coming up with ideas and stuff. And so I do second that there should be some type of budgetary oversight that is kind of mitigating circumstances at least 60, 90, 30 days in advance to try to have some head sight so we could possibly recruit next time for, you know, a drop in 89 students is pretty significant when you're talking almost, you know, with the 600 students, that's a fairly significant, and maybe we could have done recruiting, but that time has passed. And so some consideration and maybe sponsorship. I don't know what the bylaws state or what the policies are, but I know that it's nearing the end of tax season. We have a lot of corporations in the area that are looking for tax write-offs. And this might be something that the board could consider in accessing corporate tax write-offs that could go towards education, and then they could benefit, you know, tax benefits in their corporations to have that for us. Also, thinking about what type of maybe parent impact that we could volunteer and have to help maybe not reduce, and I know benefits is an impact, but reduce the number of hours so that way someone's not losing their job completely, but maybe instead of full-time, they're doing part-time. And then you could have like the whole parking situation. I know the students, it becomes a little long time, and the teachers and the different monitors are putting in time to do that. And maybe that's something that we can have parents volunteer for. You know, parents volunteer 2-3 hours a day. And so now you're not laying somebody off completely 100% for full-time, but maybe they're going to part-time as opposed to full-time. And that does mitigate the amount of money that's spent on benefits. But some employees are going to need those benefits. And it's so disheartening, because I have had a great experience with every employee that's there, and to look them in the face and know that they're going to lose their position and their job. I think there's a way that, thinking outside the box, we could help mitigate and have a lower number and a lower impact to maybe from full-time to part-time where that is, and we're able to still give the students the services. We have a lot of parents, I think, that might be willing to help, and I would definitely be willing to, you know, serve in some way or fashion, help to reduce the number of hours, and that could be some way of saving. So sorry for my long-winded comment, but just let's be creative and think outside the box. And I know we're on a time crunch, but I think we owe that to the staff members that are there. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Okay. If there's anyone else who wishes to make a comment to the board, if you'd please raise your hand. or put your comment that you wish to speak to the board in the chat at this time. Okay, seeing none and hearing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I will motion to adjourn this meeting for this evening.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, or all those in favor? This one's one of those, like, aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, board members, we will be in touch to hold on.